Okay, so I have shared the chat, right, in the chat the link where you can go and you can register yourself again for this free site. Um, like Dave has already done it, right? If anybody wants to know how to do that, so go in chat you can see the link, that URL that I have shared, right? In that URL you can click on that and then you can register yourself for, I mean, a free site. So they will give you in 1 or 2 hours. Most probably you will get your free link. In that link, when you go over email, you will receive your email link, right? And then once you open that link, you need to first reset your password. Initial password will be shared over email, and then your site will be ready to go. So your site will look like something like this, where this is an Appian designer interface where we do the development. Okay, okay, let's start then. So the first shoot that we have in Appian, this is a very basic Appian interface, which is there from the beginning. This is called tempo. So if you see, this is a URL of the environment, and then after each URL there is a shoot, and then this is the shoot name. So the first shoot is called tempo. In this tempo we have 5 sub tabs, which is called news, task, records, reports, and actions. Okay, so right now every companies are using sites, but this was a traditional Appian interface which was being used for every application. Okay, so this shoot is basically for this tempo shoot is basically for the end users, who will be working on the applications. All right. Okay, and not for the develop. I mean, developer can definitely access on this one, but this is not for the development. This is for the using the application by the end users. Okay. So what is the news tabs? The news tab is for, if you have in application, if you have any news feeds, if you want to publish on the application, then you can get the news feeds over here. Like this application has been published, or if you want to make any news, news feed based on your application, like a loan request has been created and all something like that, right? Then that those will be appearing here. The second tab was a task. So task tab was it is for, like, if any task is assigned to you or assigned to a group in which you are also a participant in that group, right? You are also a member of that group. So those tasks will be visible under the task tab. Like for suppose if you are creating an application, like inventory application, and you place an order, and that order will go to the such a group where it needs to be get approval, and you are the part of that group, so that task will be you can see here. Okay, so what was the issue with this tempo suite, and then why they come up with the sites? The reason is that in tempo you cannot restrict user. Like suppose if you are part of multiple applications, right, then all those tasks will be visible here. It's very difficult to differentiate which task belongs to which application. There's no nothing called, like, you can see, okay, this is task for one application, this task for the other application. It will be very confusing for the users. Okay, so now the third tab is called records. So in your application, if you have any records, right, so like customer record, you have a list of the customers will be there. Once you see all those records, that will be visible here under the temp records tab. Now if you generate any report of your application, right, suppose sales report, if you are generating anything and all, right, like in a month how much sales was done and all those things, so all those things will comes under the report. It will have the kind of uh, graphical representation of all your data. So if I open any one of the report, so this is how the reports will look like, this is the vehicles by make, vehicles, like pie chart, column chart, bar chart, all those things. You can create a report and that will be visible here. Now the last sub option is under tempo is called actions. This action is for if you want to create a new action for yourself. Like suppose you want to apply a leave request. So you will come here and you will say there will be an action called apply leave request. So in left hand side you will see this list of the applications. Again, that was very confusing here. It won't restrict you to work on the one application. As many number of applications you are part of, all those will be visible here. And then if you click on any one of them, then you will get the list of the actions available for you. Like suppose if you have there's an application called leave management system, then it will show here leave management system. And then once you click that leave management system, here you will say apply leave. Such kind of actions that you can see. So to begin a new action, to begin a new task, you can it comes under the action tab. Okay. Any doubt for this feed tempo?
Yeah, Ravi. So the reports thing we need to develop, or the application
No, you
automatically
need to
incorporates?
you will be developing this report based on your requirement and all.
Okay, same way for action thread, we need to create actions for
Developer will
whichever.
be creating the actions. You will start it. Yeah, I mean everything, whatever is being in here, whatever you will be using here, those will be developed by some developers. You will be just using it under tempo. So this is for the end users.
Only for end user thing. Okay, fine.
Yeah. Any more questions, guys? What is the tempo suite?
And Ravi, this is a platform, this is the environment where we practice. Is this the Appian? How does it
I
look like?
mean, this is an environment, but this shoot is for for end users. I'll show you the designer environment. But this is environment for I have registered myself, right? So once you will register, that the link that I have given, right? You will register yourself.
Yeah.
You will be also getting some different URL where you can do the practice. Okay. Any more questions, guys, on this suite? Okay. So this also have, you see this it's a user icon where you can go and you can sign out and profile, check your profile and all, right? And then you see this small grid with the 9 small squares. This is called navigation panel. So once you get the navigation panel, you will be seeing other suits for this Appian. So now we have admin console. So if you go to the admin console, this is for the system. So in Appian we have two kinds of user. Okay, in system Appian we have two kind of users. The first is a basic user and second is a system administrator. Okay, so the base and third is also called developers. All right, so the basic user will not have the access of this admin console. If I log in as a basic user, I will not get this option, admin console and Appian designer, RPA, cloud database, system logs. I will not get it as a basic user. Okay, because that is only for the system administrator and the developers. All right, now what is an admin console? So in admin console you can set your branding of your application, like the colors and combinations, like you are seeing these combinations like blues and words, the blacks and the labels, something, all those things, right? You can set the branding of your application here, like navigation bar will be hexadecimal code of like this one, what's your navigation labels, all those things you can set, logos. So all those things you can set for your branding of your application. Now there is something also called file upload, like suppose what kind of file you want to restrict. If you want to restrict some kind of files, or if you want to allow only few kinds of files to be uploaded in the system, like many companies does that, right? They don't accept the Excel file, they only accept the PDF and the Word, right? So you can mention that please allow user to upload only PDF and Excel files. Those things you can do into the file upload and all. It also gives you the, like if you want to store some plugins, then those plugins will be, if you need some plugins to be installed, you can add and add the plugins in your environment. So there will be some default plugins are already installed here, but other plugins you can, if you want, you can add it here. So like those kind of things. And then you can also set some authentication like Appian, Aljab, mention SAML users, web API authentications, all those configurations you can do during the admin console. It also gives you the get some health check reports of your environment. Like suppose if you think your application is running slow, you can get that health check report and see which model or which rule is causing your applications to be run as slow. we also have something called web APIs component to be created, right? So for them, we need to have some third-party credentials, API credentials that we can do it here. Now, if there are certain some outsourced data source we are using, Appian gives you the inbuilt database, right? But if you want to use some third-party database like Oracle or SQL Server, you can add those data source from here. You have to add the new data source, give the name of the data source, and then you can say like DB2, MariaDB, MySQL, Oracle, and PostgreSQL and SQL Server. These all are allowed to be connected to the Appian. You have to put the username, the password, and then connection strings. So once you do that, then that database will be also be available within the Appian. Okay. You can also create users, like if you want to create some basic users, or if you want to create some users within the Appian, you can create the users from here as well. Okay. And remember one thing, that in Appian you cannot delete a user. You can deactivate them, but you cannot delete it. Okay. So make sure if you're creating any users, keep in mind that you will not be able to delete it. You will just able to deactivate it. Okay. So for deactivating it, just have to select it and then select on deactivate. Okay. And password reset can also be done from the this admin consoles page. Any questions from the admin consoles? As a developer, it's very less work to be do into the admin console. Very few things needs to be done. Apart from that, everything we'll be doing in that some other shoot. So you see this one, the initial shoot was a shoot and then tempo. Then here is a shoot and admin. So this is the second shoot. So any questions here, guys?
So this admin work basically it will be doing by some other team, or else in the in the real time.
Yes.
Yeah.
No. Real time you won't be using this. It's very less opportunity to work on this one. Like this is done. Many organizations will have your lead designer, right? System administrator, ideally. So those will be doing all those admin consulting. Developer will not have this access of this admin consoles in larger organizations. Okay.
So when we are designing any application, so
Mhm.
when we will have to go to admin console and
Suppose we will be designing an API object, and then for that API object we will be needed to uh, do some API authentication here. Then we need to do that. In some organization, what happens if you need anything regarding admin console, your lead designer or the system administrator will create. You ask for it, they will create for it, and they will share with you. So many organization doesn't give you the access of the admin console.
so as a developer, I don't have the admin console access,
Most of the
right?
organization doesn't do that, but yeah, some organization allow you to have this access.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So now we'll look for the third Appian shoot, that is called Appian Designer. Now this is what we need to look for, and because this is a development shoot basically. Okay, so it's a design. You see that after shoot, it's a design. So once you get into the design, initially it will give you the list of the applications available within the system. Okay, so you see that like the 14 items, it means there are 14 applications. These all are the 14 applications available within the system. So we will also be creating one new application for ourselves. So you create a new application, you can click on the new application. All right. So once you click on new application, it will ask you to what's the name of the application you want, and inside that application we will be creating the new objects for ourselves. Okay. There is an import button. So import button and has been disabled for this uh, like learning shoot environment, because they don't want you to import some other applications in this one. So that's why they have disabled this import. So what import is for, like if you have a package, like suppose this is the application, what I need to do, I need to click on the export. You see import and export has been disabled. So once you click on the export, a zip file will be forming for this application, and if you want to deploy in your higher environment or some other environment, you have to click on import and upload that zip file, and the application will be get deployed. Okay. So this is for the import and export. Now let's go for the other looks. So here you see this application. So this is the list of the applications which will be shown here. Now if I go to these objects, so in all the environments, not the application was, if in all the environments whatever the objects is there, you will be able to see it here. You just see correct, click on this option and then you will be seeing. So this is not belong to what belongs to one particular application. This belongs to the entire applications available within the system. The third sub option is called deploy. Like if you want to have some deployment and all, right, those will be visible here. In act Yeah, I mean, right now it's export and import has been disabled. So like suppose if you put some any deployment request, that will be come here. The fourth option is called monitor. The monitor is for, like, if you want to monitor your process models, what is happening, how it is behaving, like, all those instances will be created. So whenever a process model executes, it generates an instance which needs to be, if anything goes wrong, you can do a monitor them in the instance. And again, we have the users tab also available here. So if what happens, sometimes developer needs to create some basic users and all, right. So if they don't have the admin console access, they can create the users from the here, directly from here as well. Okay, so this is about the designer. We will be seeing how to create an application. We just click on the new application and then give the name of the application, and then what happens, everything will be the basic things will be get generated to start from the application development. So suppose if this is one of the application, right, and then in this application I want to create any object for this one, right. So we go to the option called build. Within the application we call the build, and then here you see the new option, and from here we can create all our objects. These are the objects which is required to create an application. So we will be creating this object to for an application creation here. So this is about the designer. Any questions here?
Yeah, so on the screen which we are seeing now, so
Mhm.
all these are the application, right, which you have
Yes.
designed at your end. So when
No,
we will log
no,
into the app,
once you register for your free sites, right? These are the default application was given by the Appian for your
it's
learning
already
purpose.
designed then.
It's already designed.
Okay.
It's there. Yeah.
Okay.
So we will be working, throughout our
So
learning
Ravi,
period over
after
here.
learning, how do we get the own site? This is a training site with limited functionality, right? So
Mhm.
how do we upgrade ourselves to a proper developer site?
You will be doing able to develop anything here. It's a complete development site. But what the thing is that you don't have allowed to deploy and import the packages.
Mm-mm.
But it won't restrict you to do any less development compared to the original site. But
Okay,
you will not get like anything called more than this in the free available sites. Whatever you will get it from the companies wherever you will be working.
okay, okay. From the company's own Appian
Mhm.
environment. Got it.
Yeah, yeah.
So this is basically just for practice and doing the test.
Yes, it won't restrict you to do any less development as compared to the actual development site from your company and all. But it just don't allow you to do the export and import. That's all.
Okay. So in the company itself, what is the Appian tool name? Name of
It
the
will
tool
same.
basically which.
It will be like you see this one. Yeah, it's SDUR, right? It now in your company, like suppose if you're working for Capgemini, so it will be like https capgemini.appian.community. So they will create. They will have the instance, and they will share. They will create your users, like as I mentioned, right? Create users. So they will create your credentials here, and then you will be able to log in.
Okay.
Yeah.
So up to how far we can able to do the practice here? I mean, up to before the deployment, right? Before everything, you can able to
Yeah.
design, right? Here. Okay.
Yes, yes, yes. Any more questions? Okay. Now let's move to the other tab, which we call cloud database. So the cloud database is a suite which allow you to create tables. This is the inbuilt database. It's a like if you see the front end, it's like MySQL, but in the server, it is using MariaDB. Okay, so you can create tables, views, procedures, functions, everything you can do it here, and then you can use it within the app. All right. So like if you are aware of the creating table, how to create tables and all, we will be seeing that. Otherwise, we will be seeing how to create tables and all, and we will be using those into our app. Okay. So simple. Any
Yeah,
questions in the? Yeah.
no questions. So I don't have much idea or not into database stuff. So
Uh-huh.
will I be able to gather that knowledge in this
You will
training?
see that, once we create the table, right, you will see that it's not required much knowledge. Okay, you tell
Okay.
me, if I go and click on tables and then I click on new, right,
Mm-hmm.
it says, right, table name. You will be able to give the
Okay.
table name, right, and the name of the columns, right, and then type, what's the
Okay.
type, like, and all those things. So you can just click on save. It's now writing coding is, it's kind of old chapter. When
Mm-hmm.
it's a drag and drop, and companies
Okay.
are moving to this tools, right? So yeah. Okay. That is for the Appian database, and then we have something called system logs. So this system logs, basically is for, like, if you want to do more and more analysis on your error, like, if you are not getting much error on your running instance or you something, right, then you need to search for, I mean, these all are the log files what we have. Then use, like, one file is called Tomcat. Let me show you Tomcat std out Tomcat log file, right? So because it's using the Tomcat server, right, so that's why you will see the Tomcat std out log file. So this log file will have the entire details, what is happening in your environment, what kind of error you are getting, for which process model, so those kinds of error will be seen on this log file. If, I mean, most of the errors you will be able to get on your instance and all, right, but if still you are not need more and more analysis, you can come to the log file and then you can see it here, right? So this is about the log files.
So basically, to understand the logs, we need uh, we, we should have the technical knowledge, because I can see the Java and other things are written. So to understand the
um
logs,
yeah, I
one
mean,
should have the
sometimes
technical
yeah,
sound.
if it's there, like some systems error, like, but it will also give you some, like, for example, you see here, right, no such file or directory. It means that you trying to save some file to somewhere, but directories are not available, so that kind of error you will be seeing, right? So it will give you some simpler text as well, which will be help you to understand what is the error actually it is happening. Okay, let me see if you have any such kind of error. Yeah, will comes and will uh, see what is happening. Like, if you know something that comes right, it will also give you some simple test to understand what is going on with the application. Okay. All right, guys. So this is about the application walkthrough, Appian walkthrough, what we have. And then you will see after this everything, we have list of the names here, right? This is the name of the site. Okay, basically, initially user was, I mean, Appian was giving only this option where you can see all the tasks if you are part of 5 applications, all tasks will be listed here. You will not be able to distinguish, it's very confusing to distinguish. And action also will be here for like all the 5 applications. Now if you want to work on a particular application, like out of 5 you want to work on a particular application, right, only for that applications you will see the task and all, right. Appian come up with the something called sites. In that sites, if you create a site, those sites name will be visible here. Okay. Now you see this one, right? Acme Automobiles Reference, right? This is the one application. So Acme solution, Acme solution site. You see this one, right? So if you go to this site, what will happen? You will be able to see only all the things associated to that particular application, nothing else from there. Okay. So like adding a vehicle, a fleet report, and all things you can see is your site. So these all are nothing but the sites name. Okay. So we will be creating a site for our application. So you see this, right? This one we saw into the temp under report tab. So that can be visible here as well, right? So we will see how to create a site and how to work on the sites. Okay. We'll also see the use of tempo initially, and then once we move to the site, then we'll not be using tempos. We'll be directly using sites only. Okay. Any questions?
So any hours or any months till the session will end? I mean,
So
duration of
as
this
mentioned,
course?
right? I mean, this will be like 25 to 30 sessions. Each day will go for a one hour. Okay. So sometimes what happens, some leaves are there, some holidays are there. So it depends on the leaves and holidays. And then that this from August onwards, there's nothing but the holidays and lots of festivals. So let's see. I mean, we in a week we usually go Monday to Friday, right? Saturday, Sunday there will not be any classes. So Monday to Friday we'll have the class, and then uh, usually it takes 25 to 30 sessions to complete the training.
Ravi, so how about BPM tools? People say that BPM tools like Pega, OpenText, or Okta, we need to have some pre knowledge on this.
No, no, no. Appian itself is a DPM tool, right? This is also a DPM tool. Appian is nothing but a DPM tool. So I don't think that you need any pre-knowledge, and so I don't know, because I have trained many of the college freshers as well, right? So they are able to pick it up and they are able to understand. Then definitely, if you guys are having some coding background or some experience in IT industry, then you will definitely able to do that. You will see, right? Whatever we have seen right now, did you think that it's like anything that you need to know from the beginning? It's all things that you can do it, right? You can pick it up. That's how the tools have been designed right now nowadays, right? You don't have to be very technical background, or even from the ITs. There are many candidates who were not belongs to even IT. They wanted to move to IT and they started learning from the Appian and all that. So don't worry about that.
And Ravi, just to confirm, so after this training, we'll be well equipped to take up the certifications, right? Certification exams.
That depends on your interest, like how interest you are putting in learning this thing. And certificates, nobody can will be able to help you because it's a video conferencing
No
certification
help
meeting.
in
Yeah.
that matter, but just for preparation, that
But yeah,
this course.
definitely you will be able to. You should be, because what they will ask in the certification will be covering in this, the entire training sessions, right?
Okay, that's what I wanted. Not the
Yeah.
any kind of other help.
No, we will be helping you in part of, if we can get, like, what happens, Appian has changed its certification programming a lot. Initially, it was like, no video conferencing. The questions were very simpler, but now they have changed the question patterns. They have make different sets, like, initially it was like 1 to 2 sets only. If you to give 2 times the exam, you will be seeing that 90% questions will be matching. But now it's very difficult, so but the questions are, whatever the questions are there, they will be asking, it's just they are you have to worry about the wordings, because they ask questions in a very fashion manner. It will be very confusing basically for you. I mean, for anyone, even for me, it's very confusing. what they are trying to say. What they say, what is the best practice to do this, and they give you 4 options, and all are the best practice. Now the thing is that which one they will agree according to them themselves. That's the problem. You know, all are the best practice, but out of 4, one is the correct answer. So it's very confusing for the users. That kind of questions are there, but no worry. We'll be helping out. If I get some questions, then we'll be sharing with you guys.
Okay.
But that's the different story. I mean, after the session, so first learn the things, and I'll suggest during the training, please ask as many as number of questions. Don't be a silent listener. Like okay, the recording is happening. I'll go to the recording and then I'll ask something later. If you ask questions, I can describe more and more. And if you don't ask the questions, I'll just keep going, completing my topics, creating the effects, and then done. So please ask the questions. Okay.
So daily, does it require any practice daily
Yes,
to work on the tool?
yes, you should be for your better, you should be doing the practice. And whatever we will be learning, right, I will see on each Friday, I will seeing the progress of what you are doing. You need to share your screen and then show me that what you have done. Otherwise there is no meaning of having, this is a human intention. They think, okay, there's a recording is there, I'll go through and then I'll do it later, right? But that later never comes. So please do the practice each and every day. uh, Make it in practice, and it will be good for you. And the
So
recordings that will be shared with you guys, please try to download it, because that there are a lot of recordings are there, right? And we run out sometimes, run out of the memory, right? So once we upload, download it and keep it with you, right? Otherwise it will be get removed, and again we have to, in 24 hours it gets removed from the server, so we have to again upload it. So try to download it as soon as possible.
so
Yeah,
where
go ahead.
what is the platform where you keep this? Where do we need to download them?
So it's the same thing. I mean, they will be giving you the link for this GoToMeeting, right? So it also allows put some servers. Otherwise, they will be sharing, uploading it some Google Drive, and from there you have to download it.
Okay.
So,
So do we?
Ravi, in these 25 hours or 30 hours, are we going to develop any application?
Yeah, that's what I mentioned, right? From the day one, we will be starting. We will first decide a use case, like the leave management system or the loan request or the you know inventory management. We will decide one of the topics, and then we'll start from the day one. We will be started creating the requirement, just like the way, how do you get the requirement, right? Suppose if you are developing a face application, you will be getting requirement. Okay, this is the sprint one. Give me something that will be like customer search screen. So we'll be going in that way. So you'll be learn how to get the requirements and how to develop an application, and when you need to use which object, that will help you to understand that. So end
And
of the
Ravi, one more
session,
thing.
you must have one application. Yeah.
So, so along with recordings, do we get any PDF files? Notes kind of stuff where we can
No,
just go through it.
no, there will not be any PDF files, any notes. Well, no, no.
So everything is what we do is only like attending the classes and noting down. That's what. Nothing. We don't have any PDF files,
You will not need it.
any notes. It's
Yeah,
not required.
you will not need it. It's not required.
Okay.
Ravi, I just want to confirm one more question.
Mhm.
It's not about the tech. Basically, it's a tool, right? So how far we can rely upon this tool for the next 5 years or like that?
Appian is not going to go anywhere, right? Other like next 5 years, because this is the right now it's leading the market, and then it's enhancing every quarter. That's the beautiful thing of the Appian, right? It's not stopping it like, no, okay, I have developed this and then it's done. Every quarter, Appian is introducing something new to it, right? And that is what makes it better and better. So what I am seeing, according to the project I have in my pipeline, I have a project of like 2 to 3 years projects are there, you know, and That's how they happen. You don't believe that right now I'm working on a project that was thought about in 2020, but due to lot of applications, that application numbers came now, and we are now creating the POCs for that. So that is how demandable is Appian in the current market. So next 5 to 10 years, Appian is not going anywhere.
Okay, Ravi, yeah. So see, when I see a few job opportunities, right? So there they mention that Java, J2E must be there. So do we touch any Java based topics?
No, no,
No,
no.
right?
In interviews, they if like you must have been seeing like for 6 to 8 years or 10 years, because like if you have 10 years of experience in Apple, then they think like do you know the plugin development? I do not, and since my career I'm using Appian. I do not have any knowledge of Java. Whatever I learn in the company, I learn. But I survived 9 years, right? I mean, it's not required. So if any interview they ask, do you have Java knowledge? Can you create a plugins? Simply say no. I never get chance to learn the Java. I didn't work on Java project. I don't know how to create a plugin. That is fine. That is totally fine. Even I say these things, right? I don't know Java. I don't create the plugins. I never get chance to learn as well. So you ask me the question in Appian development, I will tell you everything. But nothing in the Java now.
So Ravi, is there kind of segregation in learning Appian as well? Like we have basic, we have advanced. So is there something, or we are going to learn everything in this our entire
So
session?
as an Appian development, we will be going to learn everything. The solution is in the certification. Like in your associate level certification, they will ask few things in your Appian development, and more things will be like agile process. What is agile process? What is the sprint planning and all, right? And what's the best practice, or what are shoots or things? Those kind of questions will be there into the associate level. Then when you move to the senior developer level, there will be questions like on database, from Appian development, the best practices, the system application management, all the error logs. Right. Once you move to the third, like lead level, there will be more questions will be like best practices overall, how to install Appian on premise if it's required, configuration things, and then application building approach and all those things, right? So that is how the selection of this Appian certification, but nothing into the Appian learning.
Ravi, like I have a question. Like, see, in Appian we have integrations part, right?
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
how much deep we can cover this integration? Any idea?
So if you would have asked this question like 5 years back, then it would have a long answer that we have to learn HTTP request response, we have to form that request body, we have to form that structure of that data type of this each and everything. All those things was
Yes.
we have to connect. We have to do a connection and all, right. But now
Yes.
the Appian has given you the integration object. You just have to pass that digital URL, the username and password, and you will be able to fetch the record from the third party.
So we'll cover
Just
that
to
also,
make
right?
some terms. Yes, we do. We will cover that.
Okay. Thank you, Ravi.
No problem.
Hi Ravi, Dinesh here.
Right.
Uh, I have like couple of questions.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so, is this tool anything specific to particular domains?
Particular? Sorry.
Domain like
No, 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 no,
mostly
no, no.
banking
It's
would
not
be
restricted
used
to
or
any domain.
retail.
You can work. You can create application for finance. You can create application for the healthcare, pharma, anything. It's not restricted. It's the same thing, same tool for all the domains. There's no specific restrictions there.
Okay, no domain specific, right? Okay.
No.
Okay. And basically, since most of the clients I worked, they're not used. Is it any cost variance for them to get the license, or is it very new to the market?
So Appian, the cost is, yes, cost is. I mean, market standards. But the thing is that you don't have to buy different licensing. Just like in Pega, you have to buy a different licensing for your developer environment. You have to buy different licensing for your database. You have to buy different licensing for plugins. You know, but in Appian, everything comes in one bundle, so you don't have to pay different licensing for different things.
Okay. 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 And my second question is, um, how do I put this across? Okay, I come up with almost 10 years of experience. Okay,
Uh-huh.
and now if I learn this, uh, do you think that I should be, I mean, towards something like principal consultant? Because I mean, after, I mean, I can't go as a developer. I mean, it was just a year of
Uh-huh.
experience keeping in my
Uh-huh.
background. So what roles do you think you recommend
So
so
as
that I
an
can
your
stay?
overall, see, the roles you get in your company is based on your overall experience, right?
Correct, exactly.
According to your overall experience, you will get your consultant, senior consultant role, right? But you can mention that even this in 10 years of experience, I don't have 10 years of experience in Appian. The relevant is only 2 years. That is okay, right? So it doesn't matter the role and your work. Nowadays, company doesn't. Uh, in my organization, like senior managers are doing the development. So it's not like your role. What is
Yeah,
your
it's
role and
not
what is
about
your
me
work?
sitting and writing or doing from scratch. I am okay to do that. Okay, but
Hmm.
in terms of other things like pay and all, right? So if I tell that I
Mhm.
have 2 years of experience out of 10 in my career, but I have to come down in the pay. That's what I see.
No, no, you don't have to. Appian will never let you to come down your pay scale. It will give you
Okay,
like, guys, people are getting 100% of hike in Appian. 100%
okay,
of hike. That's what I'm saying.
okay,
If you are good enough, they'll give you anything. If the company is required you. But the like 40, 50, 60, 70% are very common.
okay, cool.
You know?
So from whatever the right?
Okay. From
From whatever you're telling, if you keep 2 years of experience
yes,
also, you can
yes,
scale
yes,
it up. Okay.
yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And
So
the
just
last
mention, you
thing
don't
is,
mention like, even if you have like 10 years of experience, don't mention that I have 5 years of 6 years of experience in Appian. Go with
no,
minimum,
no.
right? Because you have just
Yeah, yeah.
cross learning these things, right? So cross train on this Appian, right? So don't go with the higher experience in Appian. Go with like minimum, and then get a job based on Appian in some organization, and from there, if you want to switch, learn something in the organization, and then switch, right?
Exactly. So then, which
Hmm.
means that, for example, if I'm already a consultant, so if I keep two
Hmm.
years, can I go in a consultant role only? Is what my question. Though I sit and do it from scratch, can I keep the
Yeah.
designation as consultant? Yeah.
Yes. Yes. You can.
Okay. Okay. And the last one is there any community, that, for example, some tools like
Yes,
Power
I
BI
have
or
given the link
such?
of Appian committee. They have registered them. Many of them have registered themselves in the Appian committee, and also they are registered for their free site. So if you don't have the committee access, let me ping you again. Just register yourself for this committee.
Okay. Okay, cool. So there is community that which I mean we get a good response and all most of the queries
Yes,
we can go back
yes,
and
yes.
get it. Yeah. Okay. Sounds good. Yeah. Thank you.
So in chat, I have given one link, right? That is link for your community as well as the site registration. I have the below message chat is like for Appian community itself. I mean, you can go and register yourself.
So I've registered here, like, and I don't know where to go and where to start this within the
You if you
community.
have registered in community or the
Appian
environment.
community. No,
So
Appian
and then you
community it
see the
is.
first link. You see the first link, right?
Yeah, I've done from the first link itself.
Okay. Mhm.
I've registered
Can
myself
you
in the first link itself.
let, Dev, right? Let me make you presenter. Will you be able to see your screen?
So you were asking me to share my screen?
Yeah. Can you?
Uh,
I made you presenter. If you can, if you want to share your screen.
okay, okay. Yes, I hope it is. Is it visible now? I've shared my
Yes,
screen.
I can see. Yeah, I can see it.
So
So
this is
this is your Appian
community.
community page, right? Yeah. Can you
Yeah.
scroll up?
Yeah. This is the top.
Mhm. Scroll up more. You have. Are you under the learning page? Can you go to the home
Yeah.
community home page? That's the discuss. I have given one more link, right? Can you open that link, please? The first one, the first
So
link.
Ravi, now the whatever the link now you have been given, right? It is just taking it to the
This
profile
page,
page.
right?
Now whatever, yeah, this
Okay.
page.
Now,
Now
can you
whatever it is,
update the profile page, please? Can you update the profile page? If you have any information, you can put it.
Ravi, I
Yeah. I've
yeah,
done
think we
it.
need to click on the top right. There is one profile icon, right? The user icon.
No, no. Here
Click
only
on
they
that
can do that.
and
I mean,
profile.
no, there is some information is missing, so he need to put. So there,
Oh,
you see, there is some missing information, right? You need to put that. Can you scroll up? You see the phone office. Put some number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
I
Save
did it
profile.
already.
Can you click on
so
save profile and then update? Okay.
This is what I can see.
yeah, here
Okay.
it is. I think get my site is there.
Yeah, get my set. Yeah, that's
In the up.
This one.
yeah. You see this? Yeah, get my site. Yeah, click on that. Select your place. Okay. Now it will take like 45. Sometimes it gets in 10 to 15 minutes. Sometimes it takes half an hour. Sometimes it takes 1 hour. So you will get your email, whatever email you have used. You will receive an email on with your username and password, initial password. You need and the URL of your site. Okay. Then from there you can start.
So I'll be receiving a email.
Yeah, you will get an email.
All right. So with the credentials you're talking about.
Yes.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Cool. Anything else, guys? So we'll connect on Monday, and then we'll decide the use case, and then we'll start development of our application from Monday onwards. Right?